kind of class you in? Oh, what's up, Nathan? Let's see. This is what I'm doing. Final sand in the bottom of this hood for the 68 C10, waiting on the tornadoes to come to knock the power out. Power's already been knocked out 2 or 3 times already this morning, so I figured I'd sit in here and sand the bottom of this hood, get it ready to paint. Yeah, I'm good. Hope you are. What's up, Nathan? What's up, Grease Spot? What's up, Yancey? What's up, Elko? Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Weather's pretty bad. Supposed to be pretty bad till about 4 o'clock. So hopefully everything will pass and everything will be all right. So watching old Hogan Heroes. Watching old Hogan Heroes. So just sand the bottom of this hood. So hadn't been live in a while, so I figured I just. Oh, they ain't no school here. They canceled up. They ain't no school here. They canceled all the school here today. Schools, colleges, all that mess. So, what in the world? So, yeah. So what I'm doing is I'm just sanding the bottom of this hood. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I was gonna put y'all on the daggone gimbal stick, but that sun gun just fell over like it was damn retarded. So I'm just doing my own thing, man. Just I don't know what in the world that little I don't know what that thing is on the screen. It's not in translating mode, so I don't know what's going on. It's all right. It's all good in the neighborhood. Uh, so just sanding the bottom of this hood. So I hope everybody's well. Oh yeah. So I'm just sanding the bottom of this stuff. That ain't gonna work. I ain't gonna be able to put y'all on the hood. It's gonna shake and bake y'all. Man, I done knocked y'all down twice. Do something different. Let's do something different. This is why I ain't been going live lately. I'm just aggravated with all the bullshit, honestly. Let's do this. There we go. We'll put y'all like that right there. We'll put y'all like that. Put y'all like that. Hey, that sounds like a new project, don't it, Nathan? Build a phone stand on wheels. So I'm sanding the bottom of this hood with let me turn this Hogan Heroes down so I don't get copyrighted. All right, so I'm just sanding the bottom of this hood with this green Scotch Brite, which is like 400, 450, about 400 to 500. So I'm sanding all the edges really, really good. I'm not going to sand. Let me show you what's up, Cuddy. I didn't even see you slip in. All right, so let me show you what I'm doing. I'm just sanding this, right? I'm going to sand this really, really good around the edges. All right. I miss anybody else? What's up, Tulu? I miss anybody else? What's up, Joe? Um, I don't think I missed anybody else. So, I'm just sanding the edges really, really good. You see these panels? They're covering up the bottom. Now the bottom's good. Don't get me wrong. I'm just not gonna waste no time sanding it. Because this right here, I got 14 days to get back on this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sand the edges, the perimeter, because that's what you're gonna see. Then I'm gonna take these back off. I'm gonna take these back off, and I'm gonna sand these on the table. And then once I get them sanded on the table, then I'm gonna go to the fastener store, and I'm gonna get some button head screws. I've already put nut inserts in anything, so I'm gonna get some Allen head button screws and fasten all this stuff down. Now you're probably asking, why didn't I do that little dimple die? Well, I will on the next ones. These already had holes drilled in them for 1/4 20. And when you do the dimple die, you have to drill a 9/64 hole, then use the dimple die to make the 920 or the 1/4 20. So I can't use the dimple die because it won't do right. So the next set will when I drill the holes, I'll drill a 9/64 hole and then do the dimple die for the washer insert. Hush, or I'm gonna throw your ass outside. And then once I get all this sanded around the edges, I'll sand these. I will put these back on the panel. I need to take. I need to take and I need to get some foam and glue some foam to the back side of these. It probably ain't gonna matter, but you hear that right there? You hear that? So I'm probably gonna put either that or, well, come on, let's go. I'm not listening to it. Let's go. Come on. Come on. I ain't listening to it. Get out. And then probably put something underneath it. That looks that I'll put something underneath it. Well, once these are tight, they see they're not tight, they're just sitting there. But once they're tight, I mean, you ain't gonna be able to hear it anyway because the truck's loud and all that. But I'm gonna tighten it up a little bit, and then I'll sand all this. Right, get all this sanded, and then I'll tape up the edges. I'll come around here and I'll tape this up, and I'm gonna paint the bottom side Underhood black, which is like a semi-gloss satin black, and this all be painted semi-gloss tamp coat Underhood black, and then I'll set it to the side, and then I'll come back and back tape this, get all this back taped, and tape all this up, and then paint the hood black, and then clear it and stuff. Yeah, you could bedline if you want. You could if you wanted to. But this is for that 68. So I can't do. We did that at Petty's. We bedlined the bottom of those Savini hoods because they were fiberglass and it was just so much work. And I really honestly hate to say this, but it was so much work on the bottom of those Savini hoods for those F-150s. It just wasn't in the budget for us to sand them and make them slick. We just went around there and hit it with like 150 grit, fixed what we could fix, and then we put Raptor bed liner on the bottom of the hood, and we color coded it. So whatever the truck was, if it was blue, green, orange, whatever the color of the truck was, we just bed lined the bottom of that Savini hood because it was fiberglass, and then the top got color matched. And then after about a year of us doing those Savini hoods, they quit doing the Savini hoods because there was just so much work in those Savini hoods because they were fiberglass popped out. Their quality control wasn't really, really good. So then they went to a different hood, and I can't remember what company they used, but they were metal hoods. And then we painted the bottom of them. So, oh yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, yeah, yeah. If this was getting like, yeah, you could do that, but these are not tight. They're not even tight. They're just stuck in there to hold them in place. Um, I'm probably gonna put a foam underneath them. keep them. See, they're not even tight. Once they're tight, they don't vibrate that much. They're not even tight. They're just, the bolts are just in there. So yeah, that's that. To give you a little, oh look what else I got. This came yesterday. So this guy did a epoxy pour. I did not do this. Now I've always wanted to do an epoxy pour, but I did not do this. So for the record, I did not do this. But I've always wanted to do an epoxy pour. So this guy, he done this epoxy pour. It didn't turn out the way he wanted it to turn out. And then it needs to be blocked with 220. So he came over, he came over Saturday while the media blaster was here blasting the K5 Blazer, and he said, "Hey man, I don't know if you'll be able to help me out or not." And I said, "What you got?" And he said, "I got two countertops that I made for my house, for my bathroom, and I did an epoxy pour." And I said, "Well, that's cool, man. Is this the look that you was going for?" And he said, "Absolutely not." And I said, "Okay." He's like, "Man, first time I poured it, man, it looks like crap." Now that's what he said. And I said, "Hey, look, don't worry about what it looks like. You did a good job on doing it. The product that he used, he just didn't like the way it made the texture." And we all try something new every time. Like when I sprayed that Scorpion in the box truck, it's a new product, but it's a new product, but it's not a new technique. So I've sprayed millions of gallons of bed liner, but I've never sprayed Scorpion. So Scorpion has some little bit of different rules and a little bit of application process. So just because it's a new product to you doesn't mean that you can't achieve what you want to achieve. So with that being said, he don't like the way it's turned out. If I'm being honest, it's different, but I don't like it neither. So he wanted me to see if I would block sand it, because you're supposed to do the first pour, then do the blocking, and then pour the top coat over it. Well, what I'm going to do for him is I'm going to block it with 240 and 320 ceramic paper. Right, I got some ceramic paper, and this stuff is no joke, man. You cannot tear this with your hand. You have to cut it with a pair of scissors. It is tough. I mean, it's tough. So what I'm going to do for him is I'm going to block this out. And when he was here, I showed him, you know, it's 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 time consuming, um, but it's worth it. So block it out and get it all blocked out. I'm gonna come around the edges right here. I'm gonna clean these edges up, and I'm gonna block all this out. And he wants to clean all this up in here. So sand this, block this down. There's the C10 doors. They're ready to final sand and paint. So if you look, this is supposed to be a self-leveling epoxy. And if you look at it, you can still see, well, I can see it. But now if you look at it right now, you can see it's got low spots. Right. So high, lows, stuff like that. You got highs and lows right there. So with all that being said, and then when I run my hand across it, the palm of my hand, when I run the palm of my hand across it like that, I can feel it's like that. If you take a paper towel or something, if you take a paper towel or a rag and put your hand on it like this and rub your hand, just close your eyes. Just close your eyes and rub your hand across it. Right there. There's a high spot right there. You can do this with a paper towel too, like a Bounty paper towel. And the reason why you put the piece of some people can't feel it with their bare hands, but if you put a piece of paper or if you put a paper towel in between your hand or a rag and you go to rub your hand across it, what's happening is the rag is in between your hand. This is hard and your hand is hard. All right. So the rag will move with the contour of the table, whatever you're doing, and you'll be able to feel the highs and the lows, and then you come around here and you just check them, right? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to block this thing out, See, look, this is an acrylic block from Leaner. It's an acrylic block. You can use anything as long as it's flat. I'm putting that on there flat. I'll probably get a block that's a little bit longer than this, and you put it on there. And when you block it out, you see that? And this stuff's been cured for about 14 days, he said. About 14 days it's been poured. So now you see that? You see all that sparks right there? This is high, this is low, this is high, this is low. So it's not flat. Even though he used self-leveling epoxy pour, it still ain't flat. Now, there's a lot of reasons why it could not be flat. One, it wasn't level when he poured it. So if this is not level, like when he set it up to, I don't know. I'm just telling you what possibilities could have happened. If this was not level this way, level diagonally, everything. If it wasn't level this way, and from corner to corner was not level, and you go to pour, what's going to happen is gravity, if you believe in gravity, the pour is going to go to the lowest point. So if it's lower here than it is over there, all your epoxy is going to run this way, and it's not going to be level because your substrate's not level. How thick? It's not thick. He took 2 pieces of 3/4 plywood, glued them together. It's not thick at all. It might be a little bit over a 1/16. I don't know. There's a lot of moving parts here, Nathan. I don't know. It's not real thick because right here, I was blocking here, and he told me that white was the primer. So when he come over and I started blocking it for him to show him the process, he's like, "Hey, look, that's the primer." And I said, "What's the primer?" He said, "That beige, that's the primer." And I said, "Oh." And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, I'll block it out and get it flat. You might have to just, I mean, you're gonna have to re-pour it. So um I'll help him on the next pour, like kind of give him some tips. I mean, I've never done a pour, but it's all the same. I mean, it's all the same concept. If this is flat and level, this way, and that way, and you go to pour it, and that stuff is self-leveling, then it should self-level itself, and then when it gets to the edges, just run over. He did say he put pieces of cardboard on the back side to keep it from running off to kind of self-level, and he done the same thing on this, but this thing has a little profile on the front, and if you put a level, if you build something up like that, and then you pour it over, what's going to happen? It's going to fill that in. So what needs to be done is it needs to be put right there. So you need to put a lip on the bottom right here. So when you go to pour it, it runs down and then it dams up right here on the edge. So if it dammed up right here, then you could just take a knife and just cut it off, and you don't lose your profile on the front of your, oh, I don't know, Nathan. I mean, I ain't got a clue. I'd say less than a 1/16. Cause you can see right here where he put something on the edge like that and it built up. See, that's what I was talking about down there. On the back side, it wouldn't matter because it's like that. But I would probably still put something on the bottom like this and then let it pour and run down and then build up down here instead of build up here. Because right now you can see it's built up right there. So I'd say it's less than a 1/16 of an inch of pour that's on there. So when I come through here and I cut all this down, when I block all this down and make this flat, I would much rather have it build up down here, and then you could take an X-Acto knife, or you even take a router and just router the edges off of it. So I got to do that for him, and then that's about it on that. But like I said, um, I'm not getting in the booth today. Well, I might do it later after the storm's gone. But first thing this morning, 8 o'clock, the power went out. So didn't have no power for a little bit. and then it came back on, and I was like, man, there is no way I'm getting in the booth mixing up epoxy and stuff and then try to spray. My luck, the power go out, and here I am stuck in the dark with product mixed and can't spray it. So I made an executive decision and said, I am going to sand the bottom of this 68 C10 hood and get it ready to spray and then go from there. And then see what we got on that. But yeah, that looks like LA Blanc. Yeah, what's up, Mike? Yeah. So that's what we're doing on this. So we're gonna sand, like I said, we're gonna sand the edges, then take these panels off. Not gonna sand underneath it because I got a 14-day window. So my plan is to get all this sanded, sand this, make it slick, and then spray it. Go get some button head fasteners and then put them in and then spray it. Not really worried about underneath because it's gonna be covered up. And then spray it all in one piece and then go from there. A lot of people's like, why don't you spray it underneath it? Well, like it's epoxy, or not, it's 5310. Yeah, 5310. So it was 662, which is black epoxy. Then it's 5312. I think it's 5312. 5312, 5311, 5310. It's gray from Tampco. So it's good to go. And then these are aluminum panels. And then I'll just spray it all one time. It's like I put these on here so I don't scratch the bolts. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and put this in here. I put all these down. I put the foam underneath there. I tighten it down. Everything's good to go. Then I'll spray the bottom of the hood, and then the fasteners will be sprayed. They won't be scratched, and all of it, everything will be one unit. Um, so yeah, I hope so, Nathan. I hope it does what it needs to do, and nobody gets hurt, and it goes on. I talked to Build on a Budget last night. He is supposed to be here Wednesday. He's gonna come see me Wednesday. Um, Yeah, there's that paper right there. See that paper? That's that ceramic paper. Look how thick that stuff is. And it cuts a whole lot different too. So if you never used ceramic paper, I wouldn't use it on anything that you were working on until you try this stuff, because this stuff cuts a whole lot. A 320 grit in this and 320 grit in 3M and Sunmite and Urca, whatever, they don't cut the same, because this stuff right here is ceramic, and it cuts a whole lot different. I mean, look how thick look how thick the paper is. And this is wet or dry. So I was going to use some of this on that, but it was cutting way too fast, and I was like, nah, I don't want to cut nothing. I just want to make it slick. So I got this I got this green piece of Scotch-Brite. Um, man, yeah, turkey season will be in about 2 weeks. Turkeys are already out and about. So coming in April, I'll be chasing some turkeys and start fishing some. So I know I hadn't been going live, just too a lot of stuff going on, a lot of moving parts. Like I said, but the media blaster came Saturday, got all the stuff with the K5. I got all it loaded up into the booth. It's ready to go. See, I cut through right there. See that? I cut through right there with that 320. So I have to put a little spot primer right there, or spot epoxy, before I do anything. Um, so yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. So I'm gonna put the camera back. I'm gonna put the camera back on this. It's a magnet on the back of the phone. Um, so and I gotta find somewhere local. Let me tell you something. Man, this is the most aggravating thing. If anybody knows where I can get some AC line ends, I would greatly appreciate it. I've ordered like 2 or 3 different ones from Amazon from a reputable dealer, right? Not just no name bullshit. And the description, see this is a 145 and this is a 145. I need like I need not a 90, I need like a 22 and a half. I need like a 22 and a half. See, if I screw that on the compressor, it's too far. I need this thing to come out like a 22 and a half. I've ordered them, and in the description, it'll say 22 and a half degrees. And then this is what I get. And then I got to send them back to get credit for them. So I am so freaking aggravated with that. See, son of a bitch. Baby G's just ripping. Oh, I bet so. Yeah, it's well, the part number is 205HO. So the part number on that is 205HO. The part number on that is 205108. It's for a GM compressor. It's for that damn Impala. That's what it's for. Have you tried Parker? No, I have not. Hey, I'll try anything. I'll try anything if I can get what I need to get. I'm gonna put y'all back up there so I can sound. So I found a fresh air hood. I found a fresh air hood from well, actually the blaster did. Found me a fresh air hood from Trending Air Supply. It's a fresh air hood that goes on and drops down, but it's battery packed, which is okay. But the filters are on the back of the helmet, and it's just for sanding. They emailed me back this morning and said it's just for particulates, not for painting. But on their website, they got another one that looks just like that has a hose on the back that you hook it up to your fresh air system where it blows fresh air in your hood, like the Media Blaster. He said the hood that he has would work, but it's big and it's drapey and it's a cape. And I said, well, do they make one like that where I know they do? I just got to figure out which one it is. Where I can plug my fresh air, I can plug my air compressor, fresh air system. I got it going through a tsunami system, so I can use it for fresh air. Hook it to the belt where it blows fresh air on my face, and then it has another line on it where I can hook it to the gun and spray. I need to get a fresh air. Um, I need to go get a damn haircut. It was closed yesterday. I couldn't get there in time. Cost and saw blue just pulled out and installed a new one. Yeah, Jay, email me. Email me. Yeah, I don't talk business on here. Yep, I don't talk business. I mean, I don't talk money like that online. It ain't nobody's business. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nobody's business. So, so we get all this sanded. Like I said, I hadn't been on here. I think the last time I went live was last Wednesday. So I know it messed up the algorithm, not going live every day, but it's garden seasoning. Start planting a garden. Uh, turkey season's coming. All kinds of stuff, man. What's up, Henry? Oh yeah, it was just a lot of stuff going on. I mean, just like spraying that Scorpion bed liner and that 61 Ford box truck. I mean, I wanted to go live, but it was just so many moving parts that, and I was new to process of their chemicals, I wouldn't be doing anybody a service by going live because not because I was learning a new product, the time restraint of spraying the product in and out of that box. And I'm gonna be honest with you, spraying inside that box, even though I had ventilation, it was tight. And boy, it was rough. Even though I had a respirator and mask and a suit and gloves, I'm telling you, it took a toll on me, man. I had a daggone migraine for a little bit. And I know it's not good for you, but like I said, I had my PPE on. Hey, and what's up, Craig? Hey, and the lowrider stamps came out. Y'all see that? The lowrider forever stamps, they come out. They're $11.70 a sheet. A buddy of mine called me this morning and said he went to the post. He drove to like 5 or 6 different post offices and here local where I live at. And he said he got 3 sheets. He said they didn't even order any. Um, he said they supposed to be ordering some more. And then they got some Route 66 stamps coming out. So I'm gonna try to get me some of those lowrider stamps. They got an old bomber, they got a G body, they got an Impala. I don't know why the Gypsy Rose didn't make it. I don't know how they picked what vehicles to represent the lowrider culture. Um, like I said, I don't know why the Gypsy Rose didn't get picked to be one of the cars that they used. Taylor coming out of the ground. I don't know what that is, Henry. What is that, Henry? Um, yeah. I guess can y'all see? I don't know if y'all can see or not. Maybe. I don't know. Put y'all back up there like this. There we go. Man, that's great, Henry. It's a little early. It's a little early here for that. Um, I usually I usually try to. I mean, I usually try to have the garden done by the first frost. Um, which or the last frost. Excuse me. So it should be here directly. You know, typically it's usually towards the last week of March. Start planting stuff, but I'm gonna do stuff a little different this year. Um, I got some transmission trays from John, the black plastic totes that they ship transmissions and stuff in. So I got those from John, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut holes in the bottom of for drainage, and I'm gonna fill it up with pot and soil mix, and then I'm gonna put some plants in it, and then what I can do is I can just move them. Uh, I can just hook to them and just slide them around to move them so I can mow and stuff. I used to have some raised garden beds, and we had a bunch of them, and they lasted for a pretty good while. And then we tore them down, and we tore them down because they were pine boards I had cut from the sawmill, so they wasn't treated or nothing. It was just rough cut lumber. It was two by sixes, and the raised beds were 12 inches deep. So there was they were 2.5. They were 2 foot wide and 8 foot long. Um, and we had those for a long time um, until they just until the old pine just just started deteriorating. Then I tore them down, took all the screws out of it, and then cut it up and burned it in the wood stove. All right. So this time I'm gonna put them in them plastic totes, which probably is not the best thing to do because it's plastic, but um, I'm not planting. I'm not digging my yard up planting no more. Not doing that. So if I do a raised wooden bed, I can't move it. A lot of moving parts. But yeah, Bill's supposed to come see me Wednesday. We're gonna put the hood on Big Shirley. He said he's going because he's got to leave. He's leaving Thursday. I think he's leaving Thursday. So he said yesterday. He said if everything goes well, he's gonna drive. He's gonna bring Big Shirley over here to the house or to the shop, and we're gonna put the hood on for him. And I told him if he didn't hurry up and come and get it, I was gonna cut and buff it. He said it ain't that type of party. So, it ain't that type of party. So I told him, I said, you better hurry up and come and get it. Right. Better hurry up and come and get it. Sounds like it stopped raining. Getting there, boys and girls. Getting there, boys and girls. What do you say? Oh yeah, I guess. I don't. Yeah, Matt said it was 70 degrees yesterday, and now it's like 20 degrees and snowing in Ohio. That's crazy. All right, I'm gonna go to the other side. This side's about done. Right? Well, this side is done. Like I said, this is just some green Scotch Brite. It's actually from over in the houseware cooking over there where they sell Clorox and toilet paper and your house goods at Walmart or Dollar General or Family Dollar or wherever. That's what this is. Little Skyrim pad. It does really good. You don't hear that? Rant, 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 rant. It was like 70 degrees. Yeah, it was nice Saturday and Sunday. I don't know what the temperature is right now outside. I get to my nerves. Anybody see the videos from yesterday? Anybody see the videos yesterday? See what I got Saturday and Sunday. Anybody seen the videos? It's 1 degree. It's 1 degree. Well, I guess that's better than zero. I guess one's better than zero, ain't it, Mike? I don't know. Yeah, you seen it. You seen it, Nate? I don't know if I'm glutton for punishment. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I'm glutton for punishment or what. At that point, at that point, you couldn't tell the difference. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Nancy. From 1 to 0, you couldn't tell the difference. Uh, yeah, it's I thought it was a 70. He said it was a 72. It's a 70. It's a 1972 short bed step side pickup truck. Um, he said it woo, it's and um the only reason I the only reason I accepted to even entertain the idea was that this guy has been talking to me for years, right? Years. Um, and and if it had been anybody else, I'd have said, man, I'm not taking no new projects on. I'll have to get back with you later. You know what I mean? Which I'm not going to start on it no time soon. Um, I just had to get it because it was at a rental property he had, and he had sold the rental property, and he had to move. He had to get it. So basically, I had to go get it. I had to go get it and keep it. I guess storage. I guess. Um, but there's some stuff I can do without doing. You know what I mean? Like I can take the transmission to the transmission shop and have it checked out. Um, we can put the engine on the engine stand. We can do some stuff that most people don't think that I know how to do. We can do some compression test. We'll see if it's got any compression. We'll go through it and just check it out. He says that his dad rebuilt the engine years ago, had it rebuilt, new intake, new carburetor, new starter. The engine had been rebuilt and has been sitting on the engine stand for about 10 or 12 years, been sitting on the engine stand. So it's been set. So we need to take the spark plugs off, squirt some Marvel Mist oil down in the cylinders, let it set for a few days, and then just bump it over. Uh, it was running in the last short. Running in the last short. No. That's not the same truck, Mike. That truck was you talking about the blue truck. That was 2 years ago. That truck there, I had to just get running for a guy. That truck was 2 years ago. I'm talking about the one I picked up Saturday and Sunday. I drove let's see, 60 and 60 and 60 and 60. That's 240. I drove 240. I drove 525 miles um all together um to go get all that stuff that I got um Saturday and Sunday. Um so his dad his dad took the truck apart in two different locations. So he started taking it apart at one place and then he moved it to another place and then started taking it apart at the other place. So they put stuff in storage in three different places. Then the engine was at this guy's new house, the transmission was at his old house, and then the fenders, let's see, yeah, the fenders, the hood, one inner fender, the dry shaft was under another house. The bed rails for the bed floor, for the wood bed floor, was in another location. Um, got a set of doors. Uh, yeah. So the yeah. So I told him, I was like, man, I got a lot of stuff going on. But like I said, this guy I'd been talking to for a long time, and he said he was ready to start moving the ball, even though he knew what everything I had going on. He wanted to move the ball. So I said, well, what? So I said, well, I can do some stuff. I can just be the middleman moving some stuff around, just whatever I need to do. So the transmission, I'm gonna take it to the transmission shop, drop it off, have him to go through it. Um, he wants to do um, either a 4.6 or a 5.7 drop. So need to figure out that. He wants to put. He wants to put. I got to redo all the brakes, the front brakes, the rotors, all that stuff. They're locked up. I mean, they just been set, and so all that stuff needs to be replaced. All the brake lines, all the fuel line, the gas tank behind the seat. He wants to relocate it underneath the bed floor. It needs. Now we're not doing no paint and body. Yeah, Mike. I mean it, like in 3 or 4 different places, man. 3 or 4 different places. So he don't want to do no paint and body. No paint and body. Um, his dad's passed away, so he don't want to do no paint and body. If we can help it. I do got to put new inner rockers, outer rockers, and the part on the B pillar at the bottom for the fender and the door. I got to put that, which he's got it. Um, he only found one inner fender. I think I have a set of inner fenders. The hood, they sanded the hood down, and they probably put rattle can primer over it. So he wants me to try to match. It's 503 green. You said the word drop. Now I know why you took the drop. Um, so the truck is 503 green. Yeah, drop. 503 green is the color. So he wants to see if I can paint the hood and make it look like the patinaed and weathered. I said, I'll try my best. Has no bolts. Gonna have to order a master bolt kit. He wants to put a new bed floor in, so we'll get a bed floor kit. It needs all the electrical, all the wiring done. He wants to leave the stock gauges. No air conditioner, nothing like that. He does have a 350 that I winched it on the trailer yesterday. So we'll have to go through that and make sure it's got compression and stuff like that. The carburetor, if the carburetor has ever been ran, I think it's an Elderbrock. I think it's an Elderbrock 650. The distributor needs to be replaced. It's just a lot. I still ain't got my damn Power Probe back. Hell no, I still ain't. Hey, Nathan, I'm glad you told me that. I'm gonna call him today and ask him where my damn Power Probe's at. I appreciate that, Nathan. So basically, get the truck running and driving, and then put it back together. So don't call me JG no more. Just call me GM, because I'm gonna have to assemble this somewhere. So that's that. So um so while I'm doing other stuff, I can do that while I'm waiting for other stuff to dry. So like when I spray, I mean just yeah. So yeah, it sounds like the storm's gone. If the storm's gone, we're gonna just as soon as the storm's gone and we in the clear, we're gonna spray epoxy. We're gonna spray some 662 epoxy because we got a lot of that shit to spray. Um, and I need to call and see if the barber shop's up if I'm gonna get a haircut. Um, so yeah, Got a bunch of stuff at the powder coaters for the 61 Ford box truck I gotta go pick up. We got get the fenders ready, the hood ready, and the valance ready for the 68 C10 and spray it. So yeah, just as soon as I get everything epoxy for the K5, so I'm gonna spray the 60, I'm gonna spray the K5. Hopefully, if the storm goes today, I'm gonna start today. If it don't, I'll do it tomorrow. Get everything sprayed in epoxy. That's 662. And once I spray it in 662, I got to let it sit for 12 hours. Then I'm going to come back and hit it with 5312. Yeah, 5312, which is white 2K high build epoxy. Spray everything in white and then get the get it back up on the get the rotisserie back up on the lift, move the F100 bed off the lift, put it on a buggy, and then I need to adjust the rotisserie and change the center point of gravity just a little bit so I can manhandle this thing by myself, and then start doing body work on the firewall, where we done all that welding and stuff, get all that done, and then start replacing the making patch panels for the floor and go from there. And then brace it back up. Now I don't know if we'll get that far this week, but brace it back up, and still got to figure out. We got to strip all the crud off of the camper shell, and probably pressure wash it really good to get all the moss and the mold and all that stuff off of it. I got to do some fiberglass work on it on the back. So once I do that, once I get the metal repair done in the floor of the K5, then probably the best thing to do is, I don't know, I'll have to think about it. Get everything done on the bottom, because the bottom's going to get scorpion. It's going to get HNR and then scorpion on the bottom, and it get color coded on the bottom. And then once the bottom's done, then can put it back on the buggy and get it off the rotisserie so I can roll it in and roll out. Then I can climb inside it. It's a lot of moving parts. A lot of moving parts. We right at 54 minutes. There you go. I don't know. I might go. I probably won't go live every day. I might just go live 3 days a week. I don't know. Maybe like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Just go live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Cause it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot. Unless it's something that's crazy that I think y'all might enjoy seeing, I'll go live and let y'all see it. I told Bill I'd get him some rolling footage Wednesday when he comes by after we put his hood on Big Shirley. I try to get him so well, I mean, I'll get him some rolling footage out here on the road so he can have some good rolling footage. Then he can do what he wants to with it. The outdoor bleach made by Comet at Walmart. Oh, okay, I'll go check that out. I appreciate that, Nathan. So if you're new to the channel and you're sliding through, hit that subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it. Hit the thumbs up and drop a comment. If you're not new to the channel and you've been hesitant on hitting that button, hit it anyway. Don't cost a dime. Oh, got the Friday, I think it's Friday, got the wood splitter going back. You know, Bilt's got a guy named Ray Ray. Guess what? I got a guy named Ray Ray too. He's in the lawnmowers and stuff. I mean, he likes lawnmowers, small engine repair and stuff. So he takes off all the carburetors and all that stuff off of riding lawnmowers and stuff. So that wood splitter got a 14. So that wood splitter is my brother's, right? So it had a 9 horsepower Briggs on it. So it's a so what was it? It was 9 horsepower. It was 9 horsepower, 34-ton wood splitter. And he blowed up the 9 horsepower Briggs and Stratton. He put a 14.5 Briggs on it from a White Brothers lawnmower and put it on there. So now it's a 14.5 horsepower. So I know it's not a 34-ton. I don't know. It might be the same. I don't know. And it had a lot of issues with it, but he had this system. You crank it up, you do this, you pull that, you put a wire here, and it would run. And that thing would run like it's got it just whatever. So this guy, Ray Ray, uh, he's seen my troubles, and he's a local guy. He's seen my troubles on YouTube. He don't comment never, but he's seen my troubles. He called me and said, "Hey man, I got a carburetor for that thing, carburetor assembly." And I said, "Okay." So he brought it down, and it's the whole assembly. It's the intake. It's everything. So we took the old carburetor off and put the new used one on. Did a little changing around, raised the gas tank up a little bit so it had a little bit more head pressure on it from gravity. Uh, Cleaned up the wiring just a little bit and messed with it for just a minute. We got that sun gun fired up, and I did a little short video on it. And we finished busting up that big stuff and made 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 light work of that big stuff. And I did a short video on it, and man, it just eat. We ran it until it ran out of gas, and it only the little gas tank ain't but about I don't know, probably don't hold not even a half a gallon, probably don't even hold that much. So and he's like, man, that thing didn't even bog down or nothing. Because we just had it like at quarter throttle. He said, man, that thing didn't bog down nothing, busting that big stump. And I was like, no, sure didn't. And he said, well, now I can he brings me some wood sometimes. So he said, man, now when I bring you some wood, I won't have to bust it. I can just bring it and you can bust it. I said, absolutely. So it all worked out. It all worked out. So, but anyways, so yeah. We just about around the edge. So we just about around here, and then we'll come back and we'll get up underneath this. And then we got to go down this side and down that side. And this part will be done, and then I'll take these panels off and then sand these panels on the table. It sounds like the daggone. Oh yeah, so the rear end for the F100, it's at the rear end shop. The engine, it's a 351 modified. It's at his engine shop, getting stroked out till 427. He's ordered the Tremec TXR 5-speed. I don't know when it'll be here. He's ordered the front spindles. He's ordered all the brake system for the front, the spindles. Well, we got the spindles. We got the spindles. We got those McLaughlin 3-inch drop spindles from QA1. He's ordered the rotors, the brakes, the calipers, the hoses. He's ordered a bunch of that stuff. And then we'll go from there. But when we get back on the F100, we're going to start bolting all the suspension on it. And I'm going to leave those little wheel dollies on there because I won't be able to roll it around. And then the lug pattern is going to be a Camaro lug pattern 5 on 4 and 3/4, because that's what the front brakes are. The front brakes and rotors are based off of a 3rd gen Camaro. So that'll work, so we can bolt some gunny wheels on it once we get the front end done. And then once the rear end gets done from the rear end shop, we'll have to paint the rear end, and then we'll install the rear end and get it rolling. And then once that's done, the fuel tank from Solus Engineering, they said it's like 13, 14 weeks before I get that. But then once I get the floor patches put in the floor, we can spray the bed liner, or the Scorpion bed liner, and the H&R on the bottom of the cab and on the inside of the cab. And then we can bolt the cab back to the chassis, and then start doing that. So um, start doing all that. So you see why I don't have a time. I don't have time for the nonsense and the bullshit. I don't have time for that toxic bullshit stuff. You know, don't have time for distractions at all. It don't concern me. It don't concern me. I'm not worried about it. Don't concern me. Not worried. Gone. All right, boys. Let me turn y'all. Let me turn y'all around right quick. So here's where we're at. Here's where we're at, boys and girls. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. I don't know. I'm gonna go check the weather and see what we got going on. But like I said, I gotta see this stuff. It scratches pretty good. See, we just got to. The only reason why I'm scratching it, only reason why I'm knocking it down, is you see it's got a little bit of texture to it, and it probably wouldn't really matter, but my OCD won't let it lay. Now, if I'd have done it wet on wet, it'd have leveled out on its own. But um, I just can't do it for this. It ain't for this. It's a different type of party. Like me and Bill was talking about last night. This is like a suit and tie. This is a black tie event. This is not a barbecue and flip flops and t-shirts and shorts, which is okay. The 70s C10 step side, it's going to be a barbecue event. You know what I mean? This right here is going to be a black tie event, so has to be what it has to be. But yeah, once I get all that, and then I'm gonna check on those AC fittings, because man, I need to figure out and then get with Chance today and see where he's at, because he's the one that's going to help me do the AC system. But I can't do the AC system until I get the daggone AC lines. So I need to find a vendor, a supplier, or somebody where I can get daggone fittings. That ain't gonna cost a daggone arm and a fortune. Now, like Vintage Air, they have them, but man, they want like crazy numbers for just one fitting. And we ain't trying to hear all that. It's not like it's a specialty item. It's an AC fitting. I mean, hell, every vehicle on the damn planet's got an air conditioner. You know what I mean? Most of them. So that's that. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. It's a lot. So once I do all that, like I say, once I get all this done, then I'll do these, and then I'll go ahead and sand this edge, and then we'll tape all this up, and then we'll spray all this Underhood black, and then we'll be good to go on that. But before I put these back on here, I'm gonna take these off, and I'm gonna make templates out of them so I can have a set of templates. This is for 67 to 72 C10 hood is what these are for. I got to make a template for them so I can have it, so I don't get rid of my template, and we'll go from there. So also look up cold hose. All right, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I've been on here about 60 minutes. Y'all know how the deal is. So I'm probably just gonna go live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Unless something crazy goes on, so I can keep the algorithm going. I was dropping posts and shorts, but I noticed the live algorithm has really dropped off, but it's all good. 22.5. Yeah, I need 22 and a half. Yeah, 22 and a half degrees. Yeah. So these screw on, and they're backwards. So that this screws on to the air compressor is the one that comes with the mid mount system from Holly. So these screw on like that. See, like that. So when they screw on, see if that one's on like that and that one's on like that, you can't get to the service port. You see that? The two service ports will be touching each other, and you can't do that. So um the big one, what is that, 5/8? The big one, um, and it's too, so when that screws on to the compressor, see, this hits the compressor, so it needs to come out. I mean, hell, it could be straight. It could even be a straight one, but I would rather have it 22 and a half because the hoses go down. Because they go down and up and around the inner fenders. Um, so yeah, if I had somewhere where I could go in and just grab them, that would be great. Uh, I appreciate it, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. All right, boys and girls, I'm gonna hop off right here real quick. Stay tuned for the shorts. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Boys and girls, remember what I said. Don't worry about the man up the road or down the road. Sweep off your own front porch or sweeping off anybody else's. But God first, that loose and dry piece of chicken grease. I'm out.